This is video 3 in our series, setting up our Firesprint.com's free pricing calculator for you to calculate pricing, doing your own in-house production. If you don't want to mess with it, I don't blame you. Just go to Firesprint.com, get yourself an account, double or triple our pricing, and be done with it. However, if you're still here, let's get into this. I want to say, one of the most challenging things that I think business owners face is calculating a shop rate. Now, it's not actually that complicated, but for some reason, it's a question that pops up a lot. Now, one of the things I want you to tell yourself here is that I can do math. This is very basic math. It's not that complicated. If you approach this with the mindset that you can do this, it will work out. You'll figure it out. You kind of work through it. Just know that you can do it and you have a solution. So we're going to the hourly rate calculator tab down here. And this, again, is kind of the first thing we're going to set up. It's probably the hardest part, but it is arguably probably the most important to determine your shop rate. So in order to determine our shop rate, we need two things. We need to understand how many billable hours that we have in a month and how much our monthly expenses are going to be. And so these are fixed expenses. They're not things like material and ink. These are expenses like labor, insurance, rent, vehicle payments, printer payments, those kinds of things that the bills come whether you actually sell anything or not in a month. Those are the fixed expenses we're trying to calculate. So here we have some examples here. We've got our shop manager's salary, different salaries, cell phone. I'm going to add a couple more things. So let's say, for example, we have trash removal. And that actually is billed quarterly at $100 per quarter. Well, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to put $33 in here for the monthly cost of that. Even though it's only billed every 3 months, the monthly average of that is $33. And then let's say our printer payment here. This is a loan to the bank, a lease to the bank. It makes really no difference here. It's part of a monthly expense that we have. So our printer payment, let's say it's $600. And I can break this out by if I have 3 printers and 3 different payments, if I feel comfortable doing that, whatever it takes for you to get to this total down here, which is the total fixed expenses that you have per month. I kind of jokingly internally call it our nut here at Firesprint, but it's an understanding of how much money we have to clear in order to pay all our bills after we've paid for the expenses of material and ink and other direct costs. And then, so we have that number that we've calculated, and then we need to understand what billable hours are per month. So in order to calculate that, I like to think about it at the level of a day by day, and I like to take each person that's working in the shop and think about how many realistic, this isn't a maximum or a minimum, this is kind of a realistic, how many billable hours are they going to be producing signs, running printers, installing stuff, doing paid for design, those kinds of things. How many hours per day are they able to do things that you can directly bill a customer for? Okay. And that's what this adds up to. So I'm going to say that a shop manager, he or she is going to be able to do about 5 billable hours per day. That leaves maybe 3 or 4 hours for the rest of the day to do administrative things, clean up, that kind of stuff. I'm going to say as an owner, maybe I only have 3 available billable hours. I'm doing payroll, I'm doing advertising, marketing, I'm going to the different networking events and things like that, growing the company. So I am not able to produce signs for as many hours per day. This for you, if you're a larger shop, might be 0. I basically have no billable hours here at Firesprint. Everything I'm working on is to help Firesprint grow, not directly working on anybody's actual orders or running any printers or anything like that. My installer, though, they're part-time. They come in when there's work to do. They leave when there's not work to do. But I promise them $2,500 a month at about 5 hours per day, for example. However this works out, you do your own math for your business. That's going to equate to me to 13. And I was just taking notes here, so delete those. And so what that comes out to is a shop base rate of $69 per hour. And that's basically 13 billable hours per day times approximately 20 working days a month gives us 260 billable hours per month. And so we've got 17,683 divided by 260 working hours per month is about $69 per hour. Now, I like to add a little bit of a profit margin in there. There's a buffer. Profit keeps everything moving nicely. Here, we're going to be very conservative. I'm going to say for my shop, it's a 20% markup on labor. Okay. And then we're going to do an additional $3 because I want to take that to a nice round $89 per hour. I don't know. This is where you play with your numbers. It's part of your secret sauce to make this determination. So you go in here, calculate your billable hours, calculate how much your monthly expenses are, and keep this up to date and adjust and set a shop base rate, which actually with profit is this one here. Set a shop base rate that makes sense for your company, and then we'll build all of our other pricing on that. Again, thank you for watching. Check us out at firesprint.com. We are a trade-only printer, and we want to work with you.